Hello, everybody. Welcome to, what is this, 55? Episode 55.
I don't know. I have the memory of it.
I wanted to start off by saying to Shep, Josh Allen is better than Ben will ever be, ever has been.
You know, I'm less salty about that and more salty that I actually fucking lost this week.
I thought you had it. I thought it was going to be you and I.
I did too. So heated.
Your boy's still in it, though, so that's what really matters.
I was so upset. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was so pissed. Yo, it's your boy Sweet Sauce. It's the week of Christmas, motherfucker.
Yeah, it is. Holy crap. What a year.
Yeah.
What a year.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. All right, sorry.
All right. Well, we had a pretty weird weekend. Not really weird, but Kluge and I did a race. That's
I got to talk to Sean for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, you did. We did a 3-hour race at Spa. I think I talked about it. And he gave me the car with 23 incident points.
That's so funny.
Which 32 is disqualification, right? So this guy hits me, so I immediately go from 23 to 27. And we're at like the most difficult track when it comes to off tracks, which counts as incident points.
Oh, nice.
So
is that why Kluge had a lot? Because he just went off a lot?
Yeah, and he got hit a few times. And he, sent it into a wall.
Oh, yeah.
As Kluge does, apparently, at Spa. That's his favorite thing to do. It's all in that little section. That's his favorite place. He'll appreciate that. So with like the last, I think it was 24 laps, Sean said, I had 1 incident point to be able to survive, which is insane to do at Spa. 1 incident point in 24 laps.
But you did it.
But I did it. I mean, I was nursing the shit out of the car because the car was destroyed, but I did it. And we ended up finishing 23rd instead of 13th.
We tried to throw him off topic because we wanted him to fuck up, but he stayed strong.
I did. For the first time ever.
I'm not going to go into it on the episode because I know you won't like it, but we discussed top 10 favorite porn stars.
I'm going to knock you out.
And I just want the fans...
No one's
send in your submissions.
The only person who's going to send anything is Sean. That's it.
But I already know his, so he's not allowed.
So who cares? No, we're not
Send in your submissions.
We're not doing shit about that. So shut your mouth. I will delete every single comment.
No.
I have the power.
No. We have to be authentic. You can't adjust comment sections.
I don't
because
care.
Then you lose integrity.
I don't care about what their views are on that.
No. Top 10 favorite porn stars. Females are also allowed to make selections.
You will be deleted.
No. I don't know what he's talking about.
Anyway. But we didn't get to qualify because Kluge's computer decided not to show up till 12:15 when the race started.
That's because I didn't build it.
Facts. Sean built it. Well, Sean told him how to build it. So I started qualifying for us late, even though because I wasn't supposed to qualify. Kluge was going to take care of everything. So I started qualifying, and it didn't work out. So we started in, I think, 48th or something like that.
Oh, my God.
And by lap, I think 5, we were up to 16th.
Because you were that good or because everybody else died?
Both. Like, Spa is Kluge and mine track. Like, we love that track. We love racing there. It's fun. But everybody died. Like, he passed 12 cars in the first lap because they're slower or they were wrecking.
Right.
And then he got smacked. This dude locked up his car, turned it right into us, and we had to wait for 15 cars to go by. So he dropped back again. And then he worked his way back up through the field, sent it into a wall because he's Kluge. He had to do one more lap. And then, I think I got in the car at like 35th place or something like that. 32nd, 35th, something between there. And we finished 23rd. Just barely. Whew. Tough race. Fun, but tough.
I was in that stream.
For once.
I was playing Fallout.
Decided to show up. But didn't watch the stream at all. It's cool.
That's not true.
You're a scumbag. So
I don't have my stock monitor yet.
I offered you one as a hold you over, but no.
Nah.
Me, right?
No, because it's not curved.
It's just a placeholder.
It's not curved, though. It's not good enough. It's not allowed to be on my desk with my setup if it's not up to par.
Okay.
I wanted to get 2 MSI monitors, but I had to settle for Samsung. They didn't have any MSI in stock.
I hate him so much. You're such a name or a name
a
whore,
gamer.
or whatever you call it.
A gamer.
What are those people called? Brand whore. There it is. You're a
gamer.
brand whore.
Samsung's not bad, but MSI for gaming is better. Samsung's good for TVs.
I have 4 different monitors in this room.
Yeah, I know. It gives me a tumor every
I
single
mean,
time I see it.
it gives me one too because I want my monitors to all be the same, but they were free. Well, 3 of them are free. That's the only one I paid for.
And that one's curved.
Yeah.
That's because you know what's up. That's the best one.
Okay. I mean, it was also on sale. So.
I wanted
on a budget.
I wanted the fucking. So I have the MSI at 144 hertz. I wanted that one, but I wanted it at 80 or 75 hertz instead, something lower.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm only playing games on one screen. You can't play games on 2 screens, so I just keep the game.
It's 1 or 3. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how your types of games work on a 3 screen.
I think you could put it on 2, but it just has the split right in the middle. And it looks like shit.
I'm just saying, because in iRacing, you can, your center one is you're driving, your view,
Right.
and then you have your side views. But in first-person shooters, is it actually a side view?
No.
You can't.
It just widens the screen out.
Yeah,
And then,
that's
I said,
stupid.
there's the big cut in the middle. So it's dumb. You don't do that. So I'm going to keep the game into the 144 because that's the more powerful one. I just wanted another auxiliary screen to do other shit. YouTube videos, tutorials on shit. Fucking
Watching the stream.
porn.
All right. I already hit you. So we're going to skip over you and everything you have to say. So we're going to go into our questions because we have 2 of them.
Is one of them by Kluge and is one of them by Kluge stupid?
Yes.
Okay.
It's one question from Kluge.
I was just taking a guess. I
And
figured
it's
he would
stupid.
ask one,
it's
and
a
it was
stupid
dumb.
thing that's going to get me in trouble.
Why?
Is Santa real? Bro, what?
Motherfucker, if you say no,
He's so real.
thank you.
I'm Santa. Scary.
Like crawling into people's houses, you creep.
Yeah. If I... Nice. It's always...
Santa's just a pervert.
Yeah, yes.
He's just a pervy old man.
And then Josh Mullen said... It's not really a question. It's kind of just a funny thing. So I was doing some real deep soul searching about the direction of NASCAR is headed, or the direction NASCAR is headed in, and had a realization of a major problem in NASCAR, and that is Kyle Busch is a piece of shit. Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
Josh. I appreciate that. It's a good time. And then Bruno LG 320 said, "Great job," because it's Santa drifting. So,
Where's Rudolph?
his horsies are in the engine.
Just say his horsies.
Yeah. Rudolph's a horse.
Okay.
Okay, Belgium Wall. Don't even try that.
In the North Pole.
Want to talk about Belgium Wall? Huh?
In the North Pole. All right, look it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. These idiots were being stupid on stream.
No, we weren't. You were.
So I said.
What did we say? Oh,
we were talking about
Henry Cavill.
Well, that, but then somebody said something about Germany and Belgium being completely different because somebody.
Sean had asked you if you wanted to go to the 24 Hours of Spa race.
Yeah.
And he goes, "It's in Germany." And we're like, "No, it's not." And he goes, "Oh shit, you're right. It's in Belgium. Same thing."
So then I just said Belgium Wall, and then they all thought I was serious. I'm like, I'm not that dumb. I'm pretty dumb, but I'm not that dumb.
He's pretty dumb. But we had Kluge had I don't know. I still don't know because Kluge's very good at this type of thing. We had asked him if how did that conversation come up? Something about Henry Cavill. Oh, faking an injury
Oh, yeah,
so
Sean
that
brought it up.
so he could set up his PC
And play
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk, yeah.
And Kluge's like, "Who's Henry Cavill?"
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he was actually serious or not.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it because Kluge isn't like.
I'd grab his pee-pee.
You grabbed?
I would grab.
I was like, when did you ever see him?
No. Would you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He's on the same page.
Yeah, obviously. It's Henry Cavill. Have you seen his body?
It's so serious about that for a second.
It's what we all strive to look like.
I don't know what you fucking mean, boy.
I don't want to look like you.
I look just like him. What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay. Yeah, that's the ticket. Him and Jon Snow, definitely. Kit Harington. Ooh. Tasty, man. You telling me he's not?
This is it. No, I mean he
He's
is.
tasty.
This is out of hand.
I like women, by the way. One in particular. She's out there making dinner.
Yeah, only one. The rest are dudes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, I don't even know. I was gonna pull. I thought I had more questions. Sergio Perez is taking over the Red Bull seat for Alex Albon, so that's cool. Nick Johnson, one of our drivers, wants to come on the podcast.
Oh.
'Cause he wants to argue with me.
That's an episode where I won't say much because I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, he'll make you come. He'll make you join. He'll say something that'll irk you. Just that's the type of person he is. He likes to
Stir the.
Yeah, there was a point in time when Kluge's like, "Oh man, I was really hoping that we'd see a fight," and he was like, "I'll try my best," and he kept like trying to start a fight, like stroke the fire or whatever, or stoke the fire. It's not stroke. As I'm
You've been talking about Henry Cavill too long. You've been talking about Henry Cavill. Dude, stroke the fire, dude. He's like,
He was trying to like poke me, like poke my buttons, and
I thought you were gonna say poke your butt. I'm like, damn, where are you going today? You're the fuck all over the place.
And I was like, no, I'm not having this. I'm keeping it cool, And then I blew up. But we had fun.
I saw parts of it, but I don't pay a lot of attention to that Discord.
There'll be a big like NASCAR versus road car racing discussion in that. I might actually pull Kluge into that one, so you don't have to worry about it.
For those of you that are watching the version on YouTube, that face I just made was me shitting my pants. And I came to the realization today that I can't say I shit my pants every time I fart because now I've actually shit my pants, so I have to say which is which.
So did Sean.
Bitch. He didn't want that
I don't
said.
give a fuck.
The message he sent.
That was good.
I was waiting for the end of that to be like, I just sat there and waited.
Oh, in it? Oh, God. We're terrible. But, yeah. So, would you go to that race, the 24-hour spa, in Belgium?
How many days?
It'd be like, well, we'd probably get there Thursday. We'd probably get to England Thursday, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Get to Spa by Friday afternoon, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Depending, I don't know. And then we wouldn't leave until like Monday or Tuesday. Yeah.
I'd have to see because I'm going to school too.
Oh, we wouldn't. We're not going this year. We're not going to be allowed to.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good
Just
point.
in the future.
But yes.
In the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that that's going on.
Right.
All right.
Thank you, COVID. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much racing things because it's
I don't know why I thought about this. I was listening to a podcast on the way here.
a month away from racing, though. So.
The two dudes I was listening to were talking about the one guy's dad's a professional golfer.
Okay.
And they always make jokes because they're both YouTubers. The one dude like exposes the fitness industry a lot. So
Like for those simple hacks that don't actually work or whatever.
well that and then just like people that say like, oh, we did this and this, and he's like, fuck you, you're on like Deca.
That's
So-
a steroid.
Yeah. So they got to talking about like, because they mentioned something about John Bones Jones doing roids.
Yeah.
I think it was him.
I think there's a few. It was
No,
either him
who's-
or Silva. Was it Silva?
That's what it
Was
is.
Silva?
saying that they popped Silva for roids recently.
It's not. I don't think it
Again.
was technically roids.
Performance enhancers. Recovery
and
enhancing
that's what it
stuff.
is. It's mostly just like the recovery stuff. It's not really them being able to perform better. It's them.
But
being
it
able
like
to,
indirectly does performance because it's like if you recover faster, you could fight longer or do more training and
Yeah.
because that's what they were talking about. So
You can train
the one
harder and
dude
not
was
worry
like,
about
the one dude was like, hey, you should ask your dad if that's big in golf. Just randomly, they thought about it, and the one guy was like, yeah, you kidding me? Tiger Woods fucking like slaughtered his back, had a massive surgery, and then came back and just thumped people for years afterward. Like he had to have been on some shit.
Yeah, but it didn't help his game. He just would.
No, but it was just like a recovery.
And like we saw how bad Tiger Woods was. He was 15th to 30th every tournament until like 2 years ago.
Right. So I got to thinking about it on the way here. I'm like, damn, this is going to be really dumb, but we don't have much else to talk about.
Are you saying like performance enhancing in racing?
Yeah. Because it's not easy on the muscles to be muscling that fucker around.
So honestly, it's one of the most straining sports, right? Because you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Repetition.
Like you're stuck in one spot, and it's essentially your arms have to just muscle this thing around.
Yeah, and the G-forces on your body. And
So-
like have you seen some of the workouts that they have to do on their necks?
Yeah.
Like at least open wheelers. I mean, I don't know too much about like the workouts that sports car
Well, I just got to thinking about it. I'm like,
But-
you can't. I mean, you could do back to back, I guess, but it can't be comfortable or good for
What do you
you.
mean back to back?
Like a race. Like obviously, there's no sport that does that. But if you did a NASCAR race back to back, you could probably not do it. Like you'd be
That's essentially doing the 24-hour race, which they do.
right.
But they have 3 drivers doing it. 3 to 4 drivers. Depending.
Yeah, I'm saying just one person like
Doing 6-7 hours.
Yeah, but
at
even
once.
those are tough because even if you have 3 drivers, you're still in it for
8 hours.
Yeah, like you can go sleep, but then you have to like
Mm-hmm. It's mentally and physically extremely difficult to be a race car driver.
you have to get like back up, and then you can't just sleep, and then 5 minutes before you have to get back in the car, wake up, and then be fine.
It's quite hilarious how many people still don't understand the physicality of racing, and they're like, "Oh, you're going left." Like, I understand.
I mean, these guys probably still have to exercise and shit to do this.
These guys, like, yes, they have somewhat power steering, but it's not like we have in our cars. It's like when our power steering goes, that's what they feel.
Yeah, you still have to move it. Like,
And you're going 200 miles an hour.
so I was thinking to myself, like, damn, do you think at any point somebody's ever taken like a, not like fucking Tren or something, like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying like to get jacked up, but like a, not necessarily a
would you-
performance enhancer, but like a recovery supplement to.
But would you deem that to help them? Because they're not doing something where, like, it's not like a fight where you're training 7-8 months for one fight, right? You're going week to week to week to week.
Mhm.
So you have you're really not training in between. You have like you have a practice. Well, not even anymore. You don't really have a practice. You have race Sunday, race Sunday, race Sunday, race Sunday. Nothing in between. That would
That's true.
that beats you. Like you're just resting for 7 days essentially.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because the other sports are all training in between.
Yeah.
So that's where the recovery thing comes in, because it's like it'll help you train, which in turn will help you perform better.
Right.
So yeah,
No, I see. I don't know,
I don't think it would actually do anything.
and I don't even think they would really care.
I mean, I do feel like
maybe your
just
pit
for the
crew,
politics of it,
you gotta.
they
kinda-
would be against like,
Yeah. Any
you
sort
know,
of drugs, like.
yeah, we're not saying that it's
But
good for you to be taking.
They probably
shit, like-
only get drug tested once a year if they get drug tested.
and they're probably mainly looking for like drugs like fucking pot and booze and
Cocaine.
yeah.
See-
Well, not even booze because they all fucking drink anyway. So
They what?
so not even booze because they're all drunk anyway.
They're all drunk.
Yeah.
I feel like drivers really don't drink that much. They can't. They have to. Their body literally needs to be in the peak of health,
Yeah.
hydration-wise, because they sweat out so much during a race. I mean, you have no cooling.
Yeah, that was more just a joke
Yeah,
than.
yeah. Well, you're a piece of shit. So. Anyway.
If you think Bush Bear guy ain't knocking back a bush.
Oh no, like they'll celebrate and win. You know, I'm not saying Clinton Boyer is a prime example. I meant for more.
Willie
like,
B's not old enough to drink.
He is. I just mean more like like Formula One drivers. Like if you look at Formula One drivers, they're all fit, except for like Kimi Räikkönen, because he just don't give a fuck.
Well, you also can't be like a certain size either because you just won't fit in the fucking thing.
It's actually so. I think it's Graham Rahal.
My dad jokes about like the NHRA guys all being 4'2", and like you don't really notice it until you actually meet them in person.
Right.
But then you see what they have to sit in, and you're like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he said, Ron Capps goes up to under his like shoulder.
Yeah, it's
and my dad's not tall.
It's crazy. It's
But
crazy
Ron-
how short these guys are because they make you feel like gods when you walk up to them.
Well, it was funny because he had one of them sign like the back of his shirt, and he made a comment because I still don't hear the end of it. Remember that guy called my back a billboard? Fuck you. Okay,
Oh, Jesus.
relax. First of all, second of all, you're just 4 times the size of him naturally.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with anything else.
But Graham Rahal is the biggest guy in IndyCar, and he's like, I don't remember the exact number, but he's like 4 to 5 inches taller than everybody else. He's tall, so they like, and he weighs more, so he always gets either extra criticism, obviously 'cause he's a little heavier. He's not big.
I'm curious to see how big he is. What's his name?
Graham Rahal. But there was at one point where he wasn't allowed to race an IMSA race because he didn't fit in the car.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Like he raced it earlier in the year, and then they were like, yeah, we're gonna get someone else to fit the car better so that we're not making so many adjustments in the seat
That's insane.
or some shit like that. It was like 2 years ago.
Oh shit, he's 6'2".
Is he really? Oh, damn. So look up.
Yeah, he is fucking tall.
Look up like
Goddamn.
Will Power or Joseph Newgarden. Newgarden's probably too hard for you to spell.
I'm trying to see. No, I got auto. Like, the spelling helps me because I couldn't spell his name either.
Graham Rahal.
Well, I got Graham right. I want to see how heavy he is, though. Oh, he's 201 pounds. That's 6'2" is big.
Yeah,
That's
for a race
fucking-
car, that's huge.
Yeah, that's tall. What's the other guy?
Actually, Scott Dixon. Do Scott Dixon. 'Cause he's kind of like the staple of IndyCar.
He's 5'10".
So 4 inches, yeah.
Yeah.
And how much do you weigh? He's
150 pounds.
that dude's a physical specimen.
Yeah, but he's a child.
Scott Dixon.
Yeah.
Scott Dixon is 40 some odd years
No,
old.
I'm saying like size.
5'10". That's not.
5'10", 150 is fucking small.
It's not that small.
Yeah, it is.
Just
he's
because you're
almost as tall as I
700
am,
pounds,
but-
like, get out of here with that shit.
3, bitch. I'm a fit 300 pounds. I can't do shit anymore. I haven't ran in 2 years. I haven't lifted a weight in almost 2 years. That's crazy. I used to do that shit all the time. Fucking can't anymore. I don't wanna.
Yeah, there was like I'll get off the bike and I'll walk out there and be like, man, I feel like I just wrestled 3-minute rounds.
Well, it's just funny to think
I'm
about
whooped.
now. Like,
There's a 2 minutes.
back in the like, it's not even back in the day. Like I played football 2 years ago. I couldn't step on a football field again. I'd fucking die. Like it's not even that. Like I wouldn't even physically be able to compete anymore. Like I haven't. I lifted so much for football that when I didn't have to anymore, I was just like, I fucking don't want to. Like I just
talk about
so-
roids.
Yeah, I was on a little cycle a deca. No big deal.
It's like a
No, but I just don't. I don't wanna.
yeah, no.
Like it was crazy to think of how into it I was, and then when I got towards the end after playing in college, I'm just like I've had enough.
Beat.
Yeah, that's just funny.
Towards the end of wrestling, that's how it was. I miss wrestling a lot, but my senior year, I was so worn down from my shoulders.
That's the thing, and I miss the
arms.
sport, but I just my desire to play it's gone, and that's natural. That's why I didn't want to stop in high school,
Yeah.
because even after I ripped up my knee, I was like, I still want to play, even though that I'm done. So then when I went away to play to college, I actually got to a point where I was like, you know what, I still love the sport, but I've had enough.
Yeah.
Like getting up early for the lifts, getting up doing this all summer. Like I'm just done.
I did
That whole summer that I trained, I did like
18 years.
I was gonna go like 5 times a week, and I only ended up going like 2. I'm just like, oh, fuck, I'm so done with this shit.
Yeah. I did 18 years of wrestling.
Yeah, that's a lot. We were talking about this earlier. Didn't you get a Junior Olympics invite? Yeah, because
to practice with them, not to compete with them. Just
yeah, but that's
practice.
still
Yeah.
that's still a big deal.
That's when I was good.
Well, because we were talking, I guess Nate's sister. She's in 8th grade. My cousin.
Oh yeah.
She I wonder if the mic
That'll
will pick
pick
that
it
one up. She is swimming. Leroy has a swim team with Virgin, and she's swimming on the varsity team, but she's getting training in Buffalo, like outside.
Yeah.
And she's quite the genius. So we're talking like possible if she gets
Collegiate
coached.
swimmer.
Yeah, if she gets coached right, D1. I'm thinking possibility.
That's cool.
So,
Although you can't be a D1 athlete and an Olympian.
well, no,
anymore.
but my
Which is
dad
unfortunate.
said something about the Olympics, and I was like, that's a tough sell, especially from a smaller school. But then I remembered you had the practice offer, so
Yeah, it was
it's not impossible.
in Austria. But money.
Yeah, right.
Can't-
And what? Weren't you like in 8th fucking grade or some shit?
7th. I was in 7th.
Yeah, so you were a kid.
No, I was in 8th. You're right. Yeah, and I was 82 pounds.
Dude, I remembered those fucking days. Those practices were ridiculous.
It was fun.
We had to do that run-in shit.
Around the block.
I fucking hated that. Fuck, I hated
It was
that.
a good time. Then we had 10. So yeah, we did, because it's almost well, how much? Shit, I don't remember how long it was, but it's
Yeah.
Our high school was blocked into.
It's a big square.
A square
It's one floor, and it's just a big square.
with an open middle. Like it's such a weird, stupid waste of space.
Yeah, you could go outside. There's like a middle area that nobody ever goes in.
Yeah. With one door, that was always locked.
Yeah, and somebody's got to mow it.
So stupid. But we ran that for like 30 minutes, and then we did 10 sprints. And mind you, this is also the same place that indoor track ran. So they're all like, "You're running wrong. You're running wrong."
Oh yeah, you get scolded because me and like all the other fat guys are like,
Run on your toes or something.
like,
Ooh.
you know, we had our wrestling shoes
Yeah,
on,
we're
and they're
wrestling the
they're,
flattest possible
yeah,
shoe.
and they're just like slapping on the fucking. They're like, you got the wrong shoe. Fuck you.
We know.
Jesus.
We're not here to run miles upon miles. We're here to
Yeah.
work out.
I
And
was in the back with fucking Matt Privateer and Dalton Seeley,
yes, you were.
just running like dumbasses.
See, and then when 9th grade came, and I broke my leg, so I didn't have to run anymore. It was
Yeah,
great.
you fucking bitch.
Rode the bike.
That
But
was
I had
funny.
to make a certain amount on the bike, or I was going to get in trouble. But
It's Saturday practices. I remember that sucking monster dick too.
Saturday practice. Holy shit!
I hated that.
That was the only sport we ever had. Saturday practice.
I hated that. It's because fucking Christopher didn't have a life.
Yeah, we were his life.
Yeah.
And then you bailed on me, and I was the only senior in my for wrestling my year. That was great. Appreciated it.
I would have kept up
you
with it
bailed
if
on
he
me in
didn't.
8th grade.
Yeah, okay, no, that was his fault though. That was his fault though. He was telling me some bullshit of how like if I actually read through the lines and realized that he couldn't do what he was threatening to do, then
he doing? What was he saying?
he was saying that he wasn't gonna he was gonna put me in a weight class that never wrestled or some shit, or he wasn't gonna move me up to varsity or unless I lost weight or some stupid.
Oh, because he wanted you to wrestle.
He wanted me to go down like 2
220,
classes
right?
or something. I think I don't remember what it was, or like 215 maybe or something like that.
You should have just wrestled 285 and just tripped him because they're fat.
That's what I fucking said, but he didn't want it,
Yeah,
and he didn't have anybody at that size.
Because we had Resh. Resh wrestled 220.
Yeah, and I
and
wasn't
180,
quite.
like between them. The three
I only
classes.
peaked at like 250, so technically I'm on the lighter end of that, so I could move a little
You
better.
should've, Damn.
I know. That's what I.
Good times.
If I actually read through his bullshit though and realized that he fucking.
He wouldn't have.
That's what I mean.
Especially with Gately still being like, no.
But he was just like being a dick about it. So I'm like, you know what? I like football better. Fuck off. And that was it.
And
He
there was a
lost me.
singlet thing, and he didn't want to wear a singlet.
I had a little thing against him. I wouldn't have cared. I would have got to a point where I wouldn't have cared.
There were so many people that just wore a T-shirt underneath it,
I just had a thing against my titties hanging out.
and you used to wear them, those black.
Yeah, I got like the Under Armour
yeah.
ones. Yeah. But then, like I said, eventually I wouldn't have fucking cared.
Yeah, you would have gotten over it because you would have seen some of the other guys and you'd been like,
Well, it's funny because I
look
always
good."
said that when I went to U of R, and like everybody's showering in like the old school like open, like it's just an open square and then a bunch of fucking shower heads sticking out. And I go into there like after the first practice and everybody's got their dick flapping in the wind and I'm like, I ain't fucking doing this shit. I like put my shit in my locker and then like scooted out the back door and like went and showered my dorm. I'm like, I'm not showering with a bunch of these fucking dudes. Like, no. And then by the time my senior year was rolling around, I was just dick in the wind, fucking towel over my shoulder, like, fuck it. It just didn't
That
care.
reminds me of Joe Simeone and in the morning practices for football.
Yeah.
During school.
It's the truth though. Like I got to a point where they had to strong arm me to do it. Like the one coach caught wind that I was leaving, and like not that he was like pissed and threatening to reprimand me, but they have to make sure that
for you to catch something.
Right, and they have to make
like
sure
staff, or not staff. Well, I guess staff too, but
right, yeah, they don't want that spreading.
like ringworm and shit like that.
And they can guarantee that because apparently they actually kept track of like you had towels with names on them.
Oh yeah.
And they actually kept track of like the towel, which is how they found out that I wasn't doing it.
It's tough just because
which makes sense. Like liability wise, they can't. Because if I get sick there because I'm not taking care of myself, but then I say, oh, they didn't do that, I could come back at them, and it's this whole whatever. So I eventually just caved, but then I was like, you know what? Why do I care? So what? I got a small PB. So what? I got a big gut. It's okay. Once I realized that all the other fat dudes that were linemen all had big gut, no dick, I was like, I'm right at home. I'm telling you.
Oh God. Anyway,
this is what happens when there's no racing going on. These are the conversations you get.
You should have stuck with wrestling. I needed help. I needed a friend. I had no friends.
I probably would
all
fucking...
all of the people that were my friend in like the grade below me, like Johnny and all them.
Yeah.
I wasn't cool enough, apparently. After I had gotten injured.
Yeah.
Like, you're not cool anymore. You're not good.
I probably would have gotten along with Conadorio. Okay, I'm a dick too, though.
We all are dicks. No one likes.
Okay.
I shouldn't say that. We liked him. He was funny, and he's just very intense and not in a cool way. Like Moran was intense but cool. Like.
Okay, I was gonna say you had Moran, so what?
I would gladly take Moran.
Okay.
Intense.
So maybe not.
He was more.
I still like Gately though. Gately's my dude.
Gately was the best.
He was my dude. And see, I didn't mind, like, I loved our meets, dude. When we just waited at the school and fucked off for, like, however many hours.
We saying, like, our modified things?
Yeah.
That was good. Those were fun.
Like, it was fun, and I probably wouldn't have done too bad. I don't know how my sectional contentions would have held up, because you could be in the fat boy weight class all year and then do pretty well, but then when you get into sectionals, you start getting into some fucking monster.
You just had to play 6 and go to supers.
Yeah, but don't tell me they don't have some, like, cut as fuck, like, Brock Lesnar bastard in, like, the heaviest weight class. You know what I mean?
Not always.
No, I know.
And sometimes those guys drop down because they know that they're stronger than the 220 guys.
Yeah, so I probably would have had fun.
You would
have been a contender.
Would have had a nice bus riding partner. The fuck?
Yeah, also true.
I was alone.
And every time I went to the meets and watched them, you never had anybody in that highest weight class.
No.
And I always said to myself, I'm like, I could have fucking done
We
it.
ended up, I think we had, 8 people out of the 14 weight classes?
Because what's the cutoff? Because it only goes to what? 220, and then everything up from that is what? Is that how it works?
So it's from 221. Well, it's tough because the weight classes after Christmas, you can be 222.
Right, they go up a little bit.
You get 2 pounds so that you can eat.
Right.
So essentially 222 to 287 is the 285 weight class.
Yeah. So I was anywhere from, I probably would have been like freshman year, sophomore year. Sophomore year I would have been close. Freshman year I would have been in 220. Yeah. But after freshman year, I think I would have been 285 the whole way through because I went up. I was like 160 in 8th grade. And then I was 200 pounds as a freshman.
40 pounds?
Yeah. Well, that's like right around the time I started going to kettles.
Oh. Yeah, I was 8th grade. I was, I think, between 82 and 89.
I always swear by that. When I coach the kids, and I'm like, if you're going to start working out, like try to hit, like obviously you can't tell, but anywhere from the age they're at now, like start. Because eventually you'll hit a growth spurt while you're working out, and it's just like, it just launches you. So that's what I did. I went from 160 to 200. So I probably would have been actually 215 freshman year. So it was like 200 pounds. Because I wouldn't have lost. I would have gained weight before I lost it.
195. There's a 195 weight class.
Oh, okay. So I would have done that. And then
You think 5 pounds is like really hard? It's not. I did 5 pounds in 2 hours.
yeah, it's just a big shit and
Spitting
yeah.
and sweatpants and a sweatshirt and a jog.
I also was not into that. So like if I ever had to be at that point, I would just tell them to put me up.
So that was kind of what was cool about where I was with my weight. I was always I wrestled. Well, in modified, I was 3 pounds too light. I could lose weight. I couldn't gain weight. I was 3 pounds too light to wrestle varsity. Yeah. And then my first year of varsity, which is sophomore year, 10th grade, I was 104 wrestling 106. And then and then supers, I destroyed my shoulder. Supers of that year. Took a year off. Yeah, I took a year off wrestling and football. I was just there for sports. No, ninth grade I didn't get to wrestle because I broke my leg. I had a cast on. I couldn't wrestle. Shit, I missed 2 years of fucking wrestling. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I could have redshirted. Damn it.
Yeah.
Anyway. But, so when junior year came, no, I didn't wrestle. I just said I didn't wrestle junior year. Did I not wrestle junior year?
I don't think so. I think it was only senior year.
Oh, no, you're right, because I came in.
And then senior year, you did, but
I came into football junior year.
It was a struggle fucking fest.
The last game of the regular season.
Yeah.
And that's when they finally gave me my brace, but I couldn't wear my brace for wrestling because it only allowed me to do this.
Yeah, he literally would try to catch balls like this. They can't
There's
see
a lot
on
of
camera, but it was like this.
There's a lot of one-handed
because his arm
to
would
trap.
only go like.
I literally like
He was just
my
guiding it into his.
I had a
titty.
Velcro strap that kept my arm from going high.
Yeah, which for somebody like me would have been fine, but not.
I worked tight end. Or anybody who really didn't need to do what I had to do.
Yeah, not
a receiver.
For you or a D-back even for that matter. Yeah. Here, let me block this ball real quick. Oh fuck, can't get it. Try to headbutt it.
Extra arm.
Like.
But so the senior year I wrestled 120 and 126, but I was always right on the cusp of 120.
There would have been a couple. Now that I think about it, there would have been a couple years I struggled because some of those like low 200 classes had some fucking monstrosities in them.
They were above us. Our senior year, you would have won.
Yeah, but see, our senior year I would have been 250.
That's what I mean. I'm still saying like the 195 and up weight classes were easy. They were chumps.
I thought they had some good dudes in there.
No,
like
they were
my sophomore, junior year.
They had it, so. Do you remember when Avon was good?
Yeah.
Well, so it was like Resh's senior year.
Yeah.
That they had good bigger guys then, and like the fence maker between Resh and fence maker. They had bigger linemen that were fit, and they wrestled there.
Mm-hmm.
But they all graduated.
Oh. So we also wrestled a lot of farm towns, and they had a lot of just big fat boys.
Section 5 in New York is very well known for our wrestling ability because we're all farm boys. Well,
yeah.
Not me or him.
Yeah.
But
that was my like
Lindenville, Warsaw.
My shtick was just all upper body though.
Yeah.
Which this is where I say I do have to give Christopher a nod here and say if I actually stuck with it and learned how to shoot on those big fuckers because I was smaller, that would have probably been gross. So I have to give him that and say that because he always reamed me out and said, you don't shoot enough. And I was like, you know what? Fuck you. I don't have to.
I hate shooting myself.
But he's probably right because, you know, not to say that those guys are any stronger than I was, but they're heavier. They have natural, like, I can't whip them around. Like, even Matt Privateer, for example, was stronger than he was. But when I wrestled him and modified, I sometimes had an issue whipping him around because he's just bigger.
Yeah.
Like, he was heavy. So, but I was also not near what I was. So it was like I said, it was 160 to 200, and then 200 to like 225 or 230. between
Yeah.
freshman and sophomore year.
You honestly would have been fine.
And then from sophomore year to senior year, I got to 250.
Because so when we were in modified, when like Fence Maker, Brennan, and all of them
Yeah.
were the seniors and like the varsity guys, the weight class to be in for like the hardest weight class wrestling wise was 145 to 160. They were all the strongest, fittest. Like that was the classes.
It was a good middle.
If
between
you
the
won
two.
those classes, you were going somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, like when I was senior, it ended up being the 120s to 135s
Yeah, I remember that.
because we were all that
You had all
physically
the-
but shorter.
You had all the dudes from Perry and shit.
The Hollisters.
Yeah.
You played football with them.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Which one? Christian, right?
Yeah.
Because the younger one went to Naval Academy. Why can't I think of his name? Andrew Hollister?
Maybe.
Yeah, we wrestled him a few times. He was good. He was really good.
Yeah.
And then there was Yanni. I don't think you ever knew who Yanni was. Yanni, it's a Greek name. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
But he won the national title 4 times. And that was before he even graduated high school. And now he's a professional wrestler, or not a professional wrestler. He's a Cornell starter captain. And he's on the Olympic. He's going to be on the Olympic team, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
It's Kyle Dake Jr. essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Yeah.
Reminiscing.
Yeah. That was
We wasted a lot of time.
Yeah, we really did. We're just a lot of reminiscing. It's funny because like I said,
I'm gonna show up in a singlet
I'm not
next
like,
time.
Yes. Do you still have
Yeah,
your
it's
old
in the
ones?
basement.
I'm not like.
I've got the one. So I got the one that I wore 6th grade, and because what they're made out of is
Stretchy. Yeah.
I wore it my last match in my senior year, and
That's funny.
I haven't grown. So,
Well, I remember you just wore your own. You didn't use the.
well, I had to after Christopher got booted. We had to be a cohesive unit. So instead of wearing the cool one that said Leroy, I had to wear an all black one that was just lame, and an all black headgear. Where I had my black and red headgear, I had white and red headgear, but I couldn't wear any of them.
I remember that.
I looked cool.
I hated that fucking headgear.
It's like wearing these for 12 hours, but sweaty.
I used to wrestle in fucking sneakers. You remember that?
Yeah, loser. Those are my senior year shoes.
Yeah. Well, this is also coming from the same dude who, when my first ever season of football, my dad fucking got me soccer cleats to wear, and I was like, you know what? Honestly, my first pair of wrestling shoes were gifted to me by somebody.
Were they?
I don't remember who they were. They said they weren't used a lot.
Flints, maybe?
Here you go.
In
Maybe.
youth? Was it in youth, or was it...
No, it was...
modified.
It was towards the end. Like, I think that whole last year, like, I think I got him 7th grade.
Because I think by the time we started wrestling modified, it was almost like if you didn't have those, you weren't able to wrestle.
Well, that was kind of the thing. Like, I showed up in shoes, and one of the dudes was like, here, I got a spare. Like, they're not really that old. Here you go.
Interesting.
But I remember wearing them like, damn, why the fuck did I not do this sooner?
Oh,
That was like when I finally got... Yeah, that is when I finally
so
got...
much grip behind them.
Like, I used to have the old screw-ins at Leroy here. And that's fine because, like, we had grass. But I had screw-ins
at
my
turf,
first season
like you can't
on
do
turf
it
at
on
U of R.
turf.
And then they blew out or something, and I went to get new ones, and I couldn't really find screw-in ones that I liked. So I saw the, like, Cam Newton-style ones where they went up higher. And I was like, I was sick of wearing the ankle braces, so if I got those, I didn't have to worry about wearing the ankle brace. I could just tape it up if it got bad. So I got those, and they're molded. They're not a screw-in.
It's so much better to have molded cleats.
And I was like, oh my God. I'm like running around like, these things are fucking so light. They're amazing.
Yeah, you don't have that metal screw.
Yeah, and I was just so late to the game because I was like, fuck, these were great. I feel like they would have sucked
So
on grass,
the
but...
problem with that, and they weren't bad. That's what I wore. I had screw-ins. The end. No, I had screw-ins Yeah, so 10th grade. I had screw-ins.
Because it would have been nice to have those at, like, the Rhinos field and shit.
Yeah.
They're just
my
so
last
much
year
better.
JV.
And in the turf, those molded ones are...
I remember the first time I ever played on Hornell's old AstroTurf.
Oh,
That was my favorite. I've never not like because I was able to wear sneakers.
Yeah, they told us to wear sneakers on
And
it.
I looked cool as hell because I had my baller ass shoes on, and I was comfortable. And my feet weren't dying from
Yeah.
that. And then they switched to that freaking garbage crap with the black balls,
Pellets in it, yeah.
and then you're sliding. You're like, oh, I hate life. And then you get scolded for dropping ball because there's black shit all over your hands.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do, bro? I don't have a towel.
I just got to eat it all the time. That was the perks of being a lineman. You just get to,
Protein.
this is a little bit of a, this is a Michelin Man tire right here. That's what this is.
Yeah, right. That's all it was. Used tires.
Oh, I think I taste I-90 on this tire. No.
Oh, there's a dead deer.
Oh, fuck that squirrel that you ran over 3 years ago. Nice and gamey. No.
Football's cool. It's also it's really cool to talk to Kluge about football because he didn't play football.
Great.
So having like their
I didn't know he was a runner. Actually.
Yeah.
I found that out when we were talking about that.
It's
recently.
cool to see like the different perspectives because we're so like set in like I would never play that way. Like we were never like that's not the
Yeah.
offense we run. Why would you? That's stupid.
Yeah.
And he's like they need to do it that way because of this. And you're like, oh damn, I guess it.
Well, it's funny. Try playing for, like,
Oh, a completely different style offense.
that was, and it happens all the time if you think about it. People go from, I was saying this the other day, I feel like the NFL is like a time capsule where like sometimes they like I saw a play the other day where it was the dude was under center and the guy pulled. Like almost never.
The center pulled.
No, one of the guards on the
Oh,
other side
yeah,
did.
yeah.
But it was just an old school like power eye formation. It's like colleges almost never do that anymore.
You don't see a fullback in college.
The college is the epitome. College football is the epitome of the most modern version of American football nowadays, and it's almost like they go back a couple steps when you get into the NFL. They're still modern,
I think
with their techniques.
The thing is like,
but the play calling is not.
the play calling in the NFL has to be so much broader. Like there's so many more options now.
Right.
Because if they so in high school we ran single back.
Down your throat.
We barely
in like 3 different
rarely
formations.
touch shotgun.
Yeah.
Now it's shotgun.
That's all it
single
is.
back. Shotgun.
Yeah. Just empty set up the ass.
Yeah.
And it was funny learning because the part of the reason why I loved the sport as an offensive lineman is because I liked the chess game that you get to play. And I talked about this before where as a defensive lineman you're usually smaller, more athletic. As an offensive lineman you're bigger and stronger. So you have to use the fact that you know where the ball's going to position yourself to stop a guy that's faster than you. So you get to play this like chess game back and forth, and I loved like dissecting offensive plays and shit like that, and I loved doing it in our Neanderthal playbook that we had of 30 plays in high school.
Less than that. We ran the same play 7 times in a row.
And I always thought
with
that like
Trigo.
I always thought like, damn, I'm a genius because I know all these plays, and it's like there was nothing to it because I went to U of R. Our playbook was 400 plays.
Yeah.
How the fuck? It was so. And the reason why it was so much is because you had one play, but one play could be played 4 different ways.
Right.
So it was like.
And but for like honestly, most of those plays are not really changing for you. They're changing for the other moving pieces.
Right.
And yeah, I'm not saying that it didn't change for you ever, but you know, most of the time it's
There was small nuances here and there, but no, for the most part, it was the same shit.
like the running back instead of going right goes left.
But blocking for an RPO is
Miserable.
it's the weirdest fucking thing in the world because it is, but it's genius.
Yeah.
Because it's not like in the old school days where it's like you have to open this hole and if you don't, you're fucked.
Right. That he's gonna have to either cut it outside or get smoked.
Now it's like you try to open this spot, and if you can't, fuck it. We got 3 other things we can do.
Yeah.
And like it really is just a completely different style playing, and having to learn that from scratch going into an even higher level of intensity.
Yeah.
So I had to step up the intensity to play college football. Then I had to not be I literally when I got there I felt like a caveman compared to some of these other kids who played at AA schools, A schools that already did all this shit. And we didn't.
See, but that's the thing too is like those AA schools, they only played one side of the ball.
Right.
We had to play both because we had 32 people.
Right. So I literally felt like a fucking caveman going there. I'm like I ended up picking it up and was fine, but I was just like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, they told us to block. They told us to do that pass blocking. Like, to me, pass blocking is going in a 3-point stance. Like, when I got there, they were like, 3-point stance. Are you fucking...
Oh,
can you spell your
they
name?
don't go down.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, this is...
Can you spell your name?
It was quite different, but I loved it because, like you said, with Kluge having other, like, perspectives on stuff from an outside point of view, that was essentially what I got taught to do. So now... And I can see why John does what he does with these guys. Our varsity team now.
John
Whiting.
Oh. Sorry. Yeah. Because he
played at U of R.
College. Yeah.
So he gets, like, I learned the same thing he did.
Yeah. The problem that we had is we had the same coaches for 30 years.
Well, right, and
not that they weren't like we're the most decorated football team in Section 5.
Right,
but we ran the same place that they ran in the 80s.
We were good at what we did, but there was I do have to give, and I hate him, but I have to give him credit in the sense that, like, he understood that you got to evolve at some point.
Don't say his full name.
No, I'm not going to. But
I know
you know who I'm talking about. He at least understood that you got to change. So I give it to him in that sense, but he's not doing it the right way. The reason why you're not successful is because you're trying to get a hybrid of what John knows and his knowledge of the modern way of playing football
with old school.
But you're trying to keep the old school aesthetic to keep the town like happy and and you can't do that. You either need to stick with the one or go to the other one. That's not how it works.
Yeah, and that's why we were successful, is because we just stuck with it.
Right.
And we're perfected it. Oh, you want to pass? We'll pass like twice a game. Well, we passed more than that because we had Ryan, but.
Well, yeah, but our senior year, I think we passed the most, like, out of
ever
any team in the history of ever. Yeah. It was quite ridiculous.
We had a good team.
Okay, so this episode, what are we going to title this episode? Nostalgia?
The old days.
Yeah.
Just because, holy shit, we need to end this.
Yeah, we've been fucking, what time is it?
It's 51 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That felt like 2.
Yeah.
My movie, I don't have one. Shit.
I'm going to do a game. I'm going to do Fallout 4.
Good.
It's old.
Very quickly. Very, very quickly.
It's old, but Fallout 4 by Bethesda. I didn't mind Fallout 76, but for those hardcore Fallout fans, Fallout 4 is better.
Still shit.
I can mod it on my PC. I think I like Skyrim's world better, but the concept of the just like open world freedom to do whatever you want, like looting, finding shit in the world, and scrapping and building shit. Good game. Playing through right now. Are you looking for something?
Yeah, I think I have one.
Okay, because I was gonna do my not poggers.
Okay, do your rating. What did you do your rating?
Oh no, I didn't. Fallout 4, 9-1.
All right, I'm doing Platoon with Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
It's like one of the only Vietnam movies to actually depict Vietnam really well.
With Charlie Sheen, that's interesting.
Have you never seen Platoon?
No.
You should see it. It's a pretty movie. Like that, you can the mental.
The only image of Charlie Sheen I get is him in Major League with the dumb fucking haircut and the big glasses.
But it depicts like some of the crazy crap that mental stress puts on you. So it's cool. It's I don't want to say it's cool in that way, but it's cool representation of it. But you should watch it. It's good. It's a good movie. 8-3.
Okay.
It's good. I liked it. But it's about Vietnam and him going in there and being like a replacement and getting fucked around with by the veteran guys that are there and like shit's wild. Anyway. What's your
So my not poggers is Tom not letting me do my top 10 porn star segment. We talked about this in one of the Discords we have. Sean put his list up. Kluge did his, even though it wasn't fully 10. And it's just not fair that he's not letting me talk about it. So that's not poggers.
I'm deleting this.
If you want to hear it, leave a comment.
Thank you to all of our sponsors. You know who you are. Sorry, this kind of sucks because the ending is coming up very quickly on that thing. So, fuck you, man. Love you all.
I gotta poop.
Thanks for tuning in again. And sorry, it was kind of like us talking about our lives and not.
I just farted.
More interesting. Hopefully, it wasn't too boring.
Yeah, that's tough. We didn't really have much to talk about, so we got on a bunch of tangents.
Yeah, maybe I'll title this the most boring episode.
I don't think it was boring.
Nah.
I mean, people. I don't. It wasn't boring for us.
No,
People probably
nice.
don't want to hear us talk about when we wrestled in 8th grade, but it's okay. We'll lose a couple viewers. It'll be fine.
Probably. But whatever. Racing.
There's no racing to talk about. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, get the fuck over it. If you don't like us, get over it.
2 or 3 weeks until the roar happens, and then we can make our way too early predictions about the racing season.
Yeah, we did that last year though. That was funny.
Oh, I wish I remembered because I would have gone back and seen who won versus who we thought was going to win.
I mean, you could probably find
We'll
it.
do it this year. That's too much work. We'll do it for sure this year. And I'll leave like a note somewhere for myself. Okay. All right.
Bet you we won't remember.
Probably not. Bye.